Hey everybody, so we had some pretty good news recently. There was a Supreme Court ruling that opened the door for states to basically step around the Electoral College and move towards a more popular vote system. This is really, really exciting. This is an issue that I didn't think that we would see any progress on anytime soon, just because of the how difficult it would be to abolish the Electoral College from a constitutional standpoint. But this is very interesting, and so I want to go over this article. I chose it because the first line was really funny. It doesn't happen often, but Rush Limbaugh was wrong last Monday. I just Rush Limbaugh is wrong on so many things. But basically, what the ruling was. So there are when you vote to be for who becomes president, you are not actually voting for like the national election. You are voting for your state's election, and you're voting for the electors. And because every state has these electors, and they are who actually decides who becomes president. But a while back, we decided that the electors are just going to listen to whatever the people vote for. But there were some electors because originally the electors just they didn't have to listen to whatever the people wanted. And so when we moved towards a system where the people where electors followed whatever the people voted for, it left the door open because the way the laws was written. Whether or not someone could say your state in 2016, say they voted for Hillary Clinton, but you're an elector, you don't like Hillary Clinton. You're like, I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump anyway. That's called a faithless elector. And this case basically said you can't do that. You got to do whatever your state tells you to. And that originally people thought was okay. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for the Constitution. But some people who like the Electoral College view this as pretty bad news because it opens the door for moving towards a more popular vote system. I am very happy about this. But before I talk about this, I wanted to make kind of a case against a common argument I hear about abolishing the Electoral College, and that is if you get rid of it, you will have small rural areas that their voices aren't heard on issues that only pertain to rural areas. Because otherwise, I mean, I would normally just make the case that, like, when policies are enacted, they apply to everyone equally, and so they should be decided by democratically. We shouldn't have these like certain segments that get a disproportionate voice, which is what happens under the Electoral College. But the argument is, well, when we're talking about like farmers, like people who live in the city, they don't understand the issues of farmers. They don't understand about like growing crops and things like that. But I just find this to be really a really almost comical thing to point out because I mean, when was the last time for a presidential election anything regarding farming was a major issue? It isn't. That has nothing to do with normally who we determine to be president. At least let's just say post Reagan. This is not one of the major issues. So the idea that just because people who like live in cities don't understand like rural life, that doesn't really pertain to like who should become president. Because when we're talking about the president, we are talking about someone, two of their main positions, commander in chief, and basically being, I mean, I don't want to say diplomat, but talking to other heads of states, forming treaties, things like that. And so when we have someone like that, they are treating the U.S. like it is a single entity, not 50 different states. And so it makes sense to have an election where we are voting as if we're just kind of one country. That's just my take on it. And so let's kind of get into why this ruling could be more significant than people originally think. So this article says, so in regards to the faithless elector stuff, it was much more significant than that. It was not a defeat for the left. Oh, it's still talking about Rush Limbaugh. All right, wait, let's move down a little bit. Okay. It's right here we go. The ruling was not just about whether or not a few disgruntled electors would could wave their middle finger at the candidates they don't like. It changed the rules of the game and laid groundwork for the radical left. Wow, just oh, okay, we'll just keep going. To effectively eliminate the Electoral College as a meaningful institution altogether. That's because since 2006, an effort has been underway by the progressive left to do away with the Electoral College, not through the constitutional amendment process, because the tamperers know how difficult it would be to get a supermajority of Congress and the states to agree to such shenanigans. It's funny because it wouldn't be that hard to get majority of people to support doing it. But, you know, it doesn't matter what the majority of people want to do because of the system that we have. Anyway, instead, the plot to subvert the intention of the Constitution comes in the form of the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. It goes over what this is. The compact originated with the auspices of National Popular Vote Inc. According to the group's website, the National Popular Vote Bill would guarantee the presidency to the candidate who receives the most popular votes across all 50 states in the District of Columbia. It has been enacted into law in 16 jurisdictions with 196 electoral votes. I won't go over every state that has done it. The bill will go into effect when enacted by the states with an additional 74 votes, because that's what you would need to win the presidency. So all the states that have agreed to do this, that'll basically say, hey, whatever we vote for, our electors will just go to whoever wins the popular vote. For this to mean anything, it would need to be, I believe it's 240 votes. Currently the compact does not have that many people. Wait, let's see. All right, we could do the math actually really quick. So it would take two oh 270. Oh, 270. That makes more sense. Not 240. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, 270 votes is what it would take because that's what it takes to win the presidency. And so until they get this other 74 electoral votes, this pact is meaningless. But this the Supreme Court ruling opens the door for this being constitutional. So, thus, in just 14 years, the compact has already garnered nearly three-quarters of the support it needs. It's written in such a way that it requires. Okay, we got that. The success of the maneuver is partly the reaction to the fact that two of the last five elections, 2000 and 2016, were won in the Electoral College by candidates who did not win the popular vote. Seems unfair. It's even more of a reaction to the fact that both of these winning candidates were Republicans. That's probably true. I don't like that people act in partisan ways, but that is probably true. And it certainly didn't hurt that one of the winners was Donald Trump, perhaps the most hated politician since Abraham Lincoln. Now, to be fair, this pact has been going since 2006, so it's not, it wasn't because of Donald Trump. Since Abraham Lincoln, wow, okay. Gosh, to compare Donald Trump to Abraham Lincoln, even if it's for being hated, I hate the implications of that. Five states have approved the compact since Trump's election, including four in 2019, the most ever in 1 year. At this rate, you can kiss the Electoral College goodbye sometime in the next 4 years. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. All right. And so basically what this allows is for this pact to be legal because there is a section of the Constitution. I think it's an article too. Let's see. Oh, it even goes over right here. At this point, there's only one constitutional protection left to prevent the left from seizing the presidential power permanently, and that is the Compact Clause of Article 1 of the Constitution, which states in part, no state shall, without the consent of Congress, enter into any agreement or compact with another state. So that, I mean, it's easy to see how that would be a barrier. Let's read the last sentence here. Well, it would seem to be self-evident that an interstate arrangement called in its very name a compact would in fact be a compact, and therefore would be unconstitutional. There is no reason to assume that the courts would use the plain language of the Constitution to rule on legality. In fact, decades of rulings prove just the opposite. Whether it is on the issue of abortion, Obamacare mandates, immigration, or anything else, the Constitution means whatever the five justices of the Supreme Court say it means. And that portends that the Electoral College is in dire danger of being legislated out of existence. Republicans need to wake up and smell the tyranny. Oh my gosh. Oh, this article is so funny. Okay, anyway, I thought that this was really good news. It is so exciting, the idea that we'd move towards a popular vote system. Not for any partisan reasons. I truly love the idea that even if it was for Republicans, I would still support this. I would still support it being a popular vote. I don't want it to be a popular vote just because I think that would help Democrats. It probably would, but that's not why I support this. It is because it is what's right. We should vote as one single country. That is, I am for a more national move, just kind of overall, and this is just one part of that. And so anyway, good news. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys disagreed with anything I said, please leave a comment down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.